Okay, happy Halloween, everybody. This is Ginger Cook. I want to just give a big shout out to everybody who's joining us tonight on this fun Halloween Let's Paint Something evening on YouTube. I am broadcasting live from Houston, Texas, along with my partner, John Little. He's on the other end of this phone. I'm in Studio A, which stands for Awesome, and he is in Studio B, and he is then relating questions to me he cannot answer, and he's your moderator. So, you know, there's always a lively group that comes when we do live classes, and tonight we're going to actually, usually we do cookie crumbs, but this is Halloween, so this is your trick or treat. The treat is we're going to go ahead and do this little 6x8 autumn scene, and I'll zoom in on it for a minute. You see how we have our friend and happy pirate bear Sammy, who says, "RR, baties." He's happy to participate. And again, you can see this is going to be really fun. I think we're going to get through this easily. The genesis of this particular painting is one I did a few weeks ago for our YouTube friends, in case you wanted to decorate for Halloween. And this is Pete the Pirate, and he is Sammy's favorite, and Sammy's so glad to have Pete with us. And of course, he snagged the M&Ms, and we got other little, you know, Halloween friends that are grabbing them too. So this will be fun. I figured I'd just eat these as I go. I'm sorry about the trick-or-treaters I bought these M&Ms for. I forgot that I'd be up here broadcasting, so the poor neighborhood kids will have to go to somewhere else. So in order for us to facilitate this, I just want to tell you, we're going to do this on a 6x8 canvas, but you could do a little bigger. There's no real measurement here, so I think you could kind of eyeball it in. I get these from Jerry's Artorama. These are real canvas sheets. They're not paper. They're not paper, plastic paper junk. It's real canvas sheets. You know, you can buy canvas that's already gessoed by the, by the yard and cut it up too. These are nicely cut up for you, and they're about $6 a tablet. And if you're having trouble finding them, Jerry's Artorama in Houston still has some, and so does our friends in San Antonio. George Rodriguez, the manager of San Antonio store, said he had them. So this is what we're going to be painting on. But if you had a bigger canvas, like I say, it really won't matter. And we can put out a little bit of paints while we're talking. When you think, what's interesting about this painting is the background's purple. Now I know someone's going to ask me, where did you find the picture? Did you make this up? No, I didn't make it up. Come on. I didn't make it up. Here's my photograph, okay? You see it's kind of a glare here, but like that. There's my photograph, and it suggested purple. It really wasn't too purple, but how fun is this? Because as artists, we can exaggerate. So I thought this was really fun, but again, this is what we're going to be painting, and the colors we're going to want are as follows. We're going to want titanium white, phthalo blue, ultramarine blue, yellow oxide, cad yellow medium, cad red medium, magenta, and Dazzling purple, which I don't know where I put. Did I put that over here somewhere? Yeah, Dazzling purple. And we're going to have a good time with this, and I think it's really fun. And I got some exciting news. Even though I want to thank the few people who sent us in postcards during the week, because of the fact we're doing a full-length painting tonight, I'm not going to read them, but we did get in a wonderful present from a member from Greece, and she's been, she's talked to me some time about sending me a gift in the mail. It came tonight. I don't know what it is. We're going to open it together. We'll all be surprised. I can't wait to see what somebody sent me from Greece, so we're going to open that. And let's see, we want a little cad red medium somewhere and some phthalo blue. Let's just put some colors out while we're talking. You think so? Sammy, you mind holding our picture here like that? There we go. Thanks, Sammy. So Sammy is our, Sammy and John take care of the technical end of GingerCookLive.gallery. They're the ones that, work on the computer stuff and answer questions. If you feel a little computer challenged, don't feel bad. I say the majority of our members are probably over 50 anyway. I would say the majority, not all, but a majority are, and not everybody's all that great with a computer, and we don't expect you to be. We have made our site so simple. In fact, we had someone look at it again today. We had some new set of eyes and say, anything about this site we could make easier, because there seemed to be some confusion about how we price things, and it's really very simple. If you're a senior, you get a senior discount of $19.95 per month, and that gives you access to personal art coaching plus over 200 art lessons, and we add usually 3 a week, but for sure you're promised one, and we do that. And then also you have a chance, you can get a discounted rate for the Wave and Water Master Class, which is fine too. Now let's see, I'm still looking for colors here. We want magenta. magenta is really pretty. Magenta makes a great orange. When you put magenta and yellow, it makes a great orange. If you don't have it, it's okay. It won't really make that much difference. But it's nice to have. You could put naphtha crimson there if you didn't have magenta. And again, you can just watch and just follow along. We have something called mixing white. If you had zinc white, that would work. It is not, mixing white is not a thin white with that's been watered down. Someone asked that the other day in one of our other videos here on YouTube. Mixing white is part titanium, part zinc, and it's a very transparent white. And let's see, I'm still looking for, what are we missing here? Dazzling purple. Yeah, okay. So we want that, dazzling purple, which I thought I had right here. Where did we put that? Well, we have all these colors out, you know. I make a real point to put them out there in my little roundabout. Must be dazzling purple. Well, here's one. I'll just grab that one. Dazzling purple is going to go right here. That is a color. I know that red and blue make purple, but if you don't own dazzling purple, I'm going to highly suggest it. Let's just zoom in a little bit more. You can see what we're doing here. Sammy, as fun as this being, I don't want to get paint over you, darling, so Sammy's going to have to say goodbye here. He's just going to kind of come by. You saw his Halloween shirt here. He's going to wave goodbye to you guys. Bye. Say goodbye to Sammy, because Sammy the Pirate's got to go help John with the broadcast. So bye, Sammy. Thanks for playing. And I guess we'll put the, remember, if you want to watch Pete the Pirate, he's already on YouTube. If you feel like, you know, painting some of Sammy's friends. Now, okay, so we're going to just make this kind of easy, and I guess I can keep the, well, I can eat the M&Ms. Don't you think it's good? A clever set decoration where you can eat the sets? Aha, it is. No fool here. Okay, so, type purple, yeah, we put it out, and then we need white and phthalo blue. All right, those are the colors that we're going to want. And, and here's white. I have to open that, so... White is a color you go through all the time, and they didn't have, Jerry's was out of the big tubes, or I would have had a big tube of this. I'll just put 2 squirts of white here, maybe 3, because we use a lot of white. So there's white. And let's see, what else could we do? Oh, say we got white. And then I think we said phthalo blue, and I heard a thunk behind this. Something fell down. Right there, a little thunk. I heard a thunk, which meant I think my phthalo blue tumped out. Let me see if I can spy it. No. Maybe it didn't tump out. Okay, so you're going, tumped out of where? What is she talking about? This is my little, zooming back out, this is my little ruly bout thing here. So my paint's in here, and I try to make it so that you can see the tops. Here it is, phthalo blue, right there, see? See, don't you love this? That's my favorite thing. I'm telling you what. I found those on Amazon. I've got a link on our website if you want to find one too. All the years I've been painting, I would have a couple of these in the studio. Just put, you know, do different colors in them. Colors you use all the time and then ones you don't. Here's some phthalo blue. Because this is very handy. Holds the big tubes, holds the small tubes. Like so. I'll move this out of the way, but I thought I'd share, wondering what thunked where. Okay, so now... Okay, as fun as the spider was stuff, he's got to go too. We're going to get rid of that. We're going to keep in the M&Ms though, sorry. The M&Ms are great, right? And I guess we can have the rat. He's sort of fun. Alright, so this is what we're painting right here. Okay, everybody's with me. So what you got to do when you start with acrylic paint, if you just appreciate it, you should just paint the background first. Now the background's sort of a gradated sort of purple magenta color. Alright, so what we do is we just take a piece of canvas like this. And what we'll take a larger brush. These are, people always ask me what brushes I recommend. Honestly, they don't pay me to say this. These are just the brushes I like, and I'll share that with you. These are Ruby Satin Silvers. This is a number 8 bright brush. So I think it's a perfect acrylic brush. It's got a long handle, and you know, that's fine. It's a 2502 it's a 2502 bright number 8 brush. Perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wet it. And I've got just a little rag here, and I'm just going to tap that off. Now, this particular color is mostly white with some color in it. This purple is very light. It's very light. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with white, and not the mixing white, but the regular white. We're going to take a little bit of magenta and put in there, a little tiny bit of ultramarine blue. That's sort of pretty. So this sort of lavender color, and then just a drop of that purple. Maybe a little more like that. And I'll have a little more purple up at the top like that. And then what I want to do is just put a piece of paper underneath this like so. Okay, the rat was fun, but he's got to go. All right, now we're just going to come across here like this, and these, I'm going right up to the edge. I'm pushing pretty hard, and now I'm going to smooth that out. Now we're going to get some more paint, and I'm going to come down again. I'm going to overlap this last edge. This overlapping stuff is real important. I see artists and they say, well, I want some purple here and I want some purple here, and then they're all over the map. You don't want to do that. Now, our horizon line is going to be about 4 fingers down from the top. This is where it's going to be. So now I'm going to get a little white paint. I'm going to put it on the brush, and I'm going to come down here like this. My brush is dirty, so that when I bring that up into the sky here, do you see that? Now maybe I'll take a little magenta because I want this brighter, okay? I'll just add a little magenta to some of this. Just mix some colors right on the canvas like that. That's pretty. Come down here like this. Very not nicely, sort of softer. And then let's take the same color down here at the bottom. Come down here and now a little more of that kind of purple color that we made. Alright, now we're going to cover up most of this, but I'm going to add a little bit of white. A little bit of white down here to this. Just a little bit lighter right here. And then the rest of it really is unimportant. We're just going to be kind of covered, but let's just go ahead and use the rest of our paint and just paint this in like this. So, make sure, and now, alright, so what about all this here, okay? I think I want a little more purple up at the top. Make it a little bit darker at the top, and it could be a little streaky. It's the sky, it's some sort of sunset that's going on here. It's pretty, you can do that. Use just the side of your brush and streak something in. And I'll come down here like this, kind of darken it in at the sides so that it's really more light in here, okay? Now we have a couple of options. We can take our brush and rinse it, which is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to wipe it off, squeeze it off as you do that. Make sure you have the water out. And I'm going to take a little bit of this titanium and I'm going to just tap some clouds in here like this. So just tapping it in using the side of the brush, make some sort of little pretty puffy clouds right in the center here. There we go. Just don't make them like in a row or something. Don't make them too even. Alright, so we're saying there's some clouds. So then I'll put the same ones maybe with a little mixing white because I want a little more translucent. I'm going to come down here underneath here and I'm going to just imitate those clouds. It's amazing what you can do with a big brush. Sort of tap it and then just sort of move it around like this. There we go. Because it's, you know, it's in water. It's a reflection. Alright, so that's kind of pretty. We didn't do much of anything, right? So we're going to probably make this even a little prettier than the first one I did. Okay, so that's our picture. Now we're going to take a minute to dry it. And I'm happy to do that because we're going to do some other stuff. Do we have any questions, John, while I'm drying it? What is the average cost of a ruby satin silver brush? You know, I don't know because it depends where you buy them. In the art store, these little ones here. This is a little. I use this brush all the time. This is an angle 3/8 inch brush. I think Texas Art Supply wanted around $7 for these, and I think I saw them for less on the Brush Guys. The BrushGuys.com, and of course you can always buy brushes on sale, but they have their prices. These two guys, and you know, they sell every brush I think there's made. Those guys have it, and they made a deal with my daughter, the Art Sherpa. And if you say the words the Art Sherpa and the code, and it may still be good. I think it is all one code. They give you like a percentage off, so maybe helps with the shipping. But they ship internationally. So again, you have to price them out. Dick Blick carries them. Jerry's Artorama has them online. Usually not in the stores as much. And this is a short handle, the long handle might be different. So again, it just depends. And some of my brushes are sold. I haven't bought any in a while, but you know, your brushes are really important. Getting some good brushes are really important because it makes your life so much easier and simpler to paint with good brushes. It really does. And there's a big difference in how long. Like here's a brush, for instance. Look at this one. Was made by Princeton. It's a snap brush, and I just want you to see. You see, it's just shot. Now we can still do stuff with that. You can take a brush like this and make all kinds of little. Let me just show you real quick. Like if you wanted to make a pattern of something, see some trees. Don't throw out shot brushes because look at this nifty little pattern I'm making here, saying there's some sort of leaves. I just want you to keep in mind that Everything has to, see here, see I'm just making, and you can't buy a brush like this, you have to just wear one out. But see, cute little trees. So even when you see a crummy, you know, even when your brushes start to look a little crummy, this is how, if you're going to be a hoarder, be a brush hoarder. That's sort of it. I have to move that now because I got it all wet. All right, so now next. All right, so we were drawing this, and then I'm going to open that package from Grease because I'm really excited to see what they sent me, and they'll give you guys a chance to catch up. So 1, 2, 3, dry. M&Ms. Okay, so now we got to see what we got from Grease. Don't you want to know? I do. Okay, I'm excited. I'm excited hearing about this package. So it's over. Where did I put it? Right here. Oh, here's it is. It's got more M&Ms on it. Thanks, John. Look at that. Ooh, excellent. You gotta take care of me. All right, so here it is. This is from Grease. You can see I'm going to cover up the address. Look at these beautiful stamps. Isn't that pretty? Ooh, how cool is that? How neat. So, now I'm going to open this up from the bottom like this. Very excited to see what's in here, aren't you guys? Ooh, ooh. Oh. Oh, you guys, look at this. I'm telling you, there is some goodies in here. All right, so here's the box. Okay, so put the box away. All right, make sure we have all dried pictures so we're not wrecking anything. Ooh, what's in here? Look at this. That looks like silk. You know, that's beautiful. I'm feeling something. Oh, wow. Enjoy soap. It's some sort of beautiful soap. Oh, that just smells divine. Okay, okay, so I'm watching that. And then, oh, look at this little bag. And there's a, ooh, isn't this cute? Come on, we're loving this, right? Sorry, you guys that were wanting to finish the painting. We have to catch it up anyway. These 2 bracelets are made by myself. I tried to match them with your scarf. You can wear them both in one hand or give one to your daughter. Cinnamon, look at this. These beautiful bracelets. Beautiful. Thank you so much. These are absolutely gorgeous. Look at that. Okay, so got these beautiful bracelets. Isn't that nice? This is really nice. I have not ever had, you know, this is our first friend from Greece, and so I really appreciate it. And, you know, when I was in school, I had a good girlfriend from Greece. She was at boarding school in Switzerland. So we've got a little note here. Look at the bear. See? Look at the dogs. Isn't that cute? So she writes, and we'll just take a second to, again, we're opening this live on the show, but I want to make sure that, you know, there's a lot here. So Anthea, this is from Anthea, and she wrote this October 11th. Look how long it took to get here. Here it is, the end of October. Dear Ginger, maybe dear Santa Claus. Ginger, July was my Christmas month, as you said, so now I'm supposed to be spring for me. Can't wait it not to be, since the temperature here is high. So we'll go ahead and read more of this in a minute because I want to get on with the painting, and we appreciate that very much. And there's one more thing there's 2 more things to open. Let's do that real quick, then we'll go on with the painting. This is I don't know, but it's a nice bag, isn't it? So God, I don't want to get the paint in anything, so I'm going to open this now, you guys. You just got to bear with me because isn't that just beautiful? Look at the fabric on this. Wow, John and I are going to have to go to Greece just to see where people live that make such beautiful things. Look at the scarf she's talking about. Now I understand the scarf with the bracelets. Look at this. It's a scarf. Is this not gorgeous? Wow, and then she made the bracelets to match. How beautiful is that? Thank you so much. And we've got our little, there's something in here too. My goodness. All right, John, this is fun. I should have you come over here, John, help me put this stuff away. Come out of Studio B. All right, so we're going to open that. I don't want to break anything. I'm going to have him open that. And then there was one more little thing in here. Oh my gosh, look at these bags, you guys, and the ribbons. This really looks Grease with the design, doesn't it? This looks Grecian. I'm sorry, I'm excited. Ginger's getting gifts. She's got to get excited. It's got to be okay. All right, we're going to finish the painting. I promise. Everybody, no thumbs down, please. Look at that necklace. Look at that necklace. Is that just stunning or what? Look at that. Boy, Sammy's going to want to wear that, and he can't. That is just stunning. Wow, that is a work of art. So here, I'm going to do this. And John's going to open this for me so I don't fumble around. And let's see, what do we got? Oh, there's more stuff. Look at this. Oh, these are earrings. Yes, this is for Cinnamon. Cinnamon and a bracelet. And then this is for me. Oh my, okay, and tell Cinnamon. Cinnamon's one of my favorite teachers. She made this for Cinnamon. How cool is this, Anthea? That is so nice. We'll put those away there, and I'll make sure Cinnamon did so. Hey, guess what, you guys? I'm going to be seeing Cinnamon really soon. All right, so look at these earrings. Are those delicate or what? Do you see how delicate that is? Wow, that is stunning. Okay, so we're going to be so careful with all of this. What a lovely gift. Thank you so much. And you know, Anthea is, you know, living in Greece. We've been corresponding since last summer, and she's one of our regulars on gingercooklive.gallery. And she's doing some great paintings and is loving the personal art coaching, and I certainly appreciate all of that. And here's a letter, and we'll get back to her. All right, so you guys, sorry, but I had to see. I've been waiting for you know, anticipated bated breath to see what she would send from Greece, and I'm certainly that's certainly beautiful. All right, so you should have gotten this far now. Okay, so what we need to do is get a tiny little angle brush or some little small brush like that. Okay, and we're going to start by putting in the background. So let's just take a little yellow oxide and a little tiny bit of cad red medium, more about 80% yellow oxide. Okay, cad red medium. Okay, like this. Did I lose somebody, John? Or
yeah, you disconnected me.
We're disconnected, so we're going to get John back here in a second. Okay. So now I'm going to start in the middle like this, and just tap in some. I'll tell you what. You know what pushes orange back is a little purple. So let's take a drop of purple, like less than 1%, maybe some magenta. That's almost purple. And put in there just a drop of this, okay? Because we want this to be a bit darker back here, and some little tiny, we're saying there's some little bushes in here, and I want to zoom in so you can see the brush strokes, because you're going to go, what is she doing? I don't understand what she just did. I want you to see it, because it's really nothing. What I'm doing is then you just lift a few, make this uneven, don't make a square, right? And you're suggesting in this sort of impressionistic type painting that there's some bushes back here. And all right, that's all there is, all right, just in the middle there, okay? And then have a rag or something that you can wipe your brush off, because I don't want any water. Take a little Dazzling purple and a little cad red medium. Let me move this over here. Yeah, let's just do this like this so you can see it, okay? So we're making this sort of brown color. And now I'm going to make some miscellaneous trees here using just tap the brush in here, little tiny trees. It doesn't really matter, kind of dark ones behind here like this. Just tap this brush in here. I use these little tiny angle brushes all the time. Here's almost a little pine tree. It's going to be a little taller. And it, you know, it gets wider as it goes down, a little, some sort of little evergreen. Okay, like that. And then I've got the same color. I've got some of this color over here. Put a little more cad red with it so it's a little bit browner. Got some of this brown color over here, more of the cad red with it on this side. And I'm going to come down a little bit below here like this and just put a little line, as long as I've got this color. This is a very simple painting. You're going, I don't know, Ginger, it doesn't look that simple. It is. It's really simple, and yet it's very pretty, and I think you're going to like it. So let's put a little of this cad red and purple back here. If you didn't have that, you could use burnt sienna. That would be a good color to use. Okay. But, you know, if you've been used to doing my videos, we use the same colors all the time. If you paint with me, you should have all this stuff on hand by now if you're doing any of this, right? Okay, so now, all right, so nothing too exciting's happened here. This is all that's going on. Now I'm going to pinch my brush, And then I'm going to go right into the Dazzling Purple with mostly a tiny bit of Cad Red, but it's going to be reversed. We're going to have it mostly Dazzling Purple with a little tiny bit of Cad Red. And I want to come up here like this and suggest, I want to suggest a tree that's kind of coming up here like this on this side, maybe some sort of tree, some sort of little tree. Never, when you're using a small brush, you can use just the corners, just the tip, pinch it so that you get just the, you know, the small thing. I'm just going to suggest a tree that's coming up here, maybe another one hit this way. It's going to come off the canvas like that. Now, here we go. Alright, so we got a couple trees there, and we have anything over here? Nothing yet. So while that's sitting there all by itself, doing its thing, and zoom out so you can see it. John, do I still have you on the phone?
No, apparently you're not.
You
I don't know what happened.
You want to see if you can hook us up? It thinks we are. It thinks you are. You're on hold. Maybe, I don't know what happened. Here.
Try it now.
Try it now. You can hear it.
Yep, now
okay. Okay. So he's working on all this. All right. So now let's just get this down where you can see it. Okay. Because this is really simple but fun. Don't you be messing with my M&Ms, people. Okay. So here's a little Cad Red medium, yellow oxide, and Cad Yellow medium. A tiny bit of purple. Now, we're going to come up here. I've got to move all this out of the way. We're going to come up here and we're going to suggest some sort of little bush up here, like this. And I'm just touching it, just sort of tapping it. Some sort of little bush, the first row of bushes. And maybe we'll come down underneath here and do a little row, something like this. And how about over here? Yeah, we need something over here that's a little bigger. We're almost going to go at an angle, but don't make it a straight line. Okay? A little bit of an angle, but don't do a straight line. John should be back to answer all questions. You guys are wondering what we're doing. This is a fun Halloween. I hope everybody's having fun with this. We have been busy this week setting up all kinds of things. I'm back into some sort of little orange color here. I'm going to just wipe the paint off my brush. We're just using oranges in here, different oranges. And I'm just tapping on, these are little dots of paint. We're tapping on bits of bushes like this. Tap, 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 tap. Okay? And you're going, yeah, I don't know. Does it make sense? It will. Just bear with me. Okay, so let's zoom in. Because I think if I'm close enough, I'm sorry, you can't see the picture. I have to see it. All right. And I'd rather have you see my palette so you can see the colors I'm mixing. How's that? There. Now you can see the colors I'm mixing. All right. So now I'm back into this sort of want some little odd little tree up in here. I'm just going to tap in some sort of little interesting tree. You know, there's probably about how many thousands and thousands of different kinds of trees in the world. So if your tree looks a little different than mine, it's one of those other kind. It's okay. Okay, here's a little, you know, here we go, some sort of little tree. Remember, just they get smaller at the top. If you can remember that, you're probably in good shape. Keep it all kind of loose and easy. And here's some sort of little tree that's coming in here, some different, so we're just kind of varying the different shades of brown. And I could probably come over here and do something similar down into here, underneath these trees like this. Kind of come across here at the base, like that, and say down in here we've got some sort of brown going this way. Now what's a little bit different here, and I'll put a little bit over this, what's a little bit different here is that we're going into the brighter oranges on this side. So there's a little bit of Cad Yellow medium, Cad Red medium. And I want to come up here like this, and I'm going to tap on some brighter orange up on this tree, and even have some of this going behind this one, like that. A little bit brighter orange. Maybe just go right into the Cad Red, because remember, you can mix right on the canvas here like that. Okay? Coming around like this, and then down here at the base I'm going to tap on some more reds going this way like that down here at the base, and so you can kind of see where that's going. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Let's say we've got some brighter oranges colors going over here. Maybe there's really no light source, like you can say the sun's coming from this way, but there is kind of a little bit, but it's all pretty bright. This picture is all about, for me, it's about the oranges and the purples. So we're going to start brightening this up here like that. Now, okay, so once we started that, let's just start coming back down with some of these colors now. Now we're going to start taking the orange. Using long strokes, we're going to start coming into our water like this. Coming across here like this, maybe in the front. And this is just Cad Red Medium and yellow. It depends on how much, Cad Yellow Medium, it depends on how much your ratio of red to orange. Remember, we're overlapping everything, okay? So you see that? We're overlapping it all. And I can put this up here like this. So now you can kind of see the colors that we're getting. Let me zoom out just a hair. There, okay, so let's put this right here so you can kind of see. Well, we'll just do this side for a little bit. There's a little yellow, here's a little white. All right, so let's take a little yellow and white now. Start coming this way. Haven't rinsed my brush. Just still using a little bit of an angle brush, and I want to come into here, a little bit of yellow, a little bit of white. Start bringing down some light colors. And again, I'm doing almost an angle like this, but I want it uneven. So you can hear everything okay? You can see comments, John? Everybody's doing okay? Everybody's fine? Wait, yeah, we'll take a question, sure. Because you guys, you see what I'm doing here. I'm just throwing in yellow, okay? So no big trick here. Okay, go. Are there any rules when painting a landscape? Any rules to keep in mind so it will have a balanced look? Yeah, that's a good question, John. Who asked that question? Well, that is a good question. That is a Sherry, the question of the day. Woohoo! That's question of the day. Happy Halloween, Sherry. That's the question winner of the day. You can go to our website, gingercooklive.gallery, and you can pick out a downloadable video, or you can join us for 7 days. On our website and access over 200 lessons. That's gingercooklive.gallery. If I ever found the sheet for that, I would share it with you. Where is it? Here it is. Yeah. Haha. Here, like that. See? So anyway, that's what you've won for this question. And the question she asked was, and incidentally, if you want to share before I tell the question, if there's a downloadable video, you just want to hang on to your coupon and wait till we come up with a video you like, you can do that too. Or you can just join us for 7 days, or give this as a gift to somebody else. Somebody gave Mona 7 days one time as a wonderful gift, and sort of an anonymous donor. It was very sweet. So anyway, the question is what are the landscape rules? Basically, if you're doing a landscape, what are the rules? You know what? We've got rules. Let's start with the first rule. The first rule is the farther things are away, the more out of focus and less bright they are. So you really, for instance, don't want to put bright yellow way back here. Now, fall's sort of an exception, you know, when there's fall, but I want you to notice when you're driving in the car is that the farther things get away from you, the grayer the color is, and of course the smaller and the less detail. Now notice I'm bringing my brush strokes down like this, coming across and then down like this, and we're just suggesting some yellow as I'm doing this. So I'm talking to you. So that would be one of the first rules you want to remember about a landscape. Now the other thing is that whenever possible, don't put your horizon line dead set in the middle. And your horizon line, people are going, yeah, but I don't understand what that is. Your horizon line is where the sky meets the water or the ocean if there were no mountains. We'll talk about mountains, that's a different deal, okay? But I'm going to bring some yellow back into here like that. Okay, see what we're doing? I mean, already we've got a pretty decent little painting. We've been talking, what, 10 seconds or something, you know? It's amazing what you can do, isn't it? Just with a little bit of color and a little bit of brush direction. So let's see, let's talk about some other landscape rules. Okay, so you want a center of interest. You don't want your mind, you've got to follow the basic rules of design, and that's too numerous to mention, but you basically don't want a line running out of the picture. So like, for instance, in this picture, you see how the line's going this way? This is this tree stump. If it went the opposite direction, in the Western world, your eye, because of the way we read books, your eye goes into the painting here, and you'll notice that these trees here act as a stop and keep you here. Our center of interest is really here. Could possibly even be this tree. But so you don't want any lines taking you out. And it's good to have a stop. You need either a triangular pattern, an S pattern is very good too. That's another thing, looking at picture patterns. If you go to my Pinterest page, Ginger Cook Live, all one word. Go to Pinterest and look under books I recommend. May I suggest you read the book on let's see, what is it? Secrets of, some secrets, I forget the name of it, but it's a great book on designing paintings. Okay? John's laughing, he says, I can't remember. Well, I put it in there, and I have the book, but who can remember the title? But it's there's not so many books you'll miss it. Something to do with secrets, okay? All right, now I'm going into red. Just go ahead and laugh, John. It's all fine. We just don't mind. All right, so now I've got a little red on my pure Cad Red medium, right? So I'm going to come up here like this and tap this one on. Barely touch it. And tap a nice red, beautiful tree here. Pure color. Fall lets you get away with pure colors. Like that. I think I want a little purple and red. Do another tree here, down here like this. Let's take a little magenta. Where'd that go? Right here. Yeah, let's do a little magenta tree with a little bit of purple on it. I want a little magenta tree in here. Kind of in this little space. There, kind of sticking it back behind him. Maybe I'll put some of him up here like that. A little bit of magenta. And if I got him here, maybe we'll get a little bit of magenta going right here. A little bit of that color on this tree. Come down here, and now where we can put that down here like this, going across. And I want to show you how you can do something with a large brush. You wouldn't think so, but you can take an angle brush like this. It's just pretty big, ruby satin silver, and let me show you what you can do with an angle brush, just in general. Of course, I'm going to wet it, and I want a plate so I can smooth out the paint. I'm going to show you a trick. I can take a little bit of this Dazzling Purple and Cad Red Medium, put it on a plate like this, and flatten it out. See what I'm doing now? Look at the thin broad line I can make with this brush. Now, whoops, okay. Alright, so if I want this a little darker, I'll add a little more purple to it, like this. See, just like this, flatten it out. Okay, now, what I can do is I can come up here like this, using just the tip of this brush, and I can make the teeniest lines like that. Do you see it? Can I zoom in so you can see it? And people think, why do you like these angle brushes so much? Because when they're new, and this is brand new, this is a brush guy sent me this one. I think this is a new one, okay? And what you do is you can mist this paint just a little bit, like 2 squirts, and that's with a fine mister. So you got a little bit of liquid. Pinch the brush like that, then come back with it. Now come up here like this, and watch the wonderful thin lines you can get when you're doing something like this. And I'm just using the tip of this. And I can do the same thing underneath here. I can come like this. I'm saying that this is coming down into this way, and I'm going to say the same thing here. I'm going to bring this tree down here a little bit, and then I'm going to come this way with it. Just I'm going to say that there's something coming down this way. Do some little tiny branches. And I had another one I was using. Let's see, where'd that one go? Let's switch brushes for a minute. But anyway, angle brushes are just absolutely the best. And let's see if let's see, this is even bigger. This one's a 3/4 inch, and I'm just coming right up on it like this, using just the tip of this. Just use the last few bristles. So if you think that it just has to be a real thin brush to work, it does not. If you want some, dark lines and stuff like that, you can use a bigger brush. It's just the little ones are easier to use, but I promise you can use a big one too. So let's see, let's move that over here, and I want some dark coming under here like this on the bank. Use a big brush like this, or you could use a little brush. There's some more dark coming this way. And the trick is you've got to flatten it out. That's the trick. You have to flatten these out. So let me go on back to painting our bushes with the small brushes. And the bright brushes can do that too. That's why we like them so much. Alright, so we said that was there, and here's some little dots of the bright red coming this way. Maybe some bright red here like that. And then let's see, how about over here? Yeah, let's pull some bright red in here like this. Okay, like that. Just some sort of bright red, maybe some that's pure Cad Red medium going up here. Here's a little yellow. I'm going to come up here like this and tap on a little bit of yellow. didn't wipe the brush off, so I got a little red with it, like that up in here. Maybe up here like that, just a little yellow. So I'm going to just tap that on top of this bush. And then we just keep coming back here with the, going to bring some orange down like this, down across. Start bringing some orange down. Just pull it down. Reflections have a tendency to want to be kind of down like this. You see how we're just sort of painting that, and you sort of bring that off the canvas like that. And then on this one particularly, there was fewer little reflections, and there were more going this way across. And little bits of orange, and just varying degrees of light orange and dark orange. Kind of cross over those little reflection trees we put in there. So yeah, so when you're talking about landscapes, that's one of the things you want to watch for, is that your objects get smaller as they go back, and also study the landscapes of some important master painters like Renoir and Van Gogh and Cézanne. Even Picasso did some, and study their landscapes and notice the position of things. You know, there's so many painting patterns, just like I think they say there's so many book stories, you know what I mean, so many plots. Look at those, and then when you're laying out a landscape, you don't have to copy the painting, but you can copy the idea of it. There's a little bit of red here coming this way, coming across. Okay, like that. Just little tiny brush strokes going down. Back over here on the bottom, like that. Okay, so I mean, look, we got some cute clouds. We got some stuff going on here. Here's a little yellow oxide. Coming up here like this. Let's see. Let's do another little tiny brush. Now, this is where I might want a smaller brush. I may take a really teeny brush like this. Like this is a 000 ruby satin silver. And I might just say that there's some tiny bushes back here. Now you can use a small brush too, like that, some tinier ones. This is just some purple. Going back up here like this. And maybe I want to say, let's put a little ultramarine blue with the purple. That makes a nice dark color. Let's just come up here like this. And add some front trees like this. Maybe there's some sort of tree coming this way. Just that, like that. Okay. And how about this one? How about we put a tree right here? Yeah, question? Yeah. Gonna put one here like this. The question is, have I ever tried Indian Yellow by Golden? You know, I did an Adventures of Yellow with Matisse. You can see that on YouTube. It's called Adventures in Yellow, and I've tried all the yellows by Matisse. I think I have tried Indian Yellow. There's so many beautiful colors, right? Originally, Indian Yellow. You know how they made it? They don't make it this way now, but originally Indian Yellow was made from the urine of cows. And there's an interesting story, and I'm not going to go into it, but there's a book called The History of the Color Palette by Victoria Finlay, and she explains how we could, I think John has that book up there, and you know, on our site. I can show it to you. That wonderful book on where colors came from, and they were was outlined around 1900 for cruelty to animals, because they would feed them these mango leaves, and then they would and they wouldn't give them any water or something, so that their urine was very thick, and so then they would get this thick yellow paint, and they used it for yellow paint. And another place that yellow came from was from saffron. Now you're going, what's saffron? Some of you may know, but if you don't know what saffron is, here I'm just using, you know, small brushes now. See here, and that's our, let's take a little thing. This is our little tiny brush here. Put a little white with it. Let's try a little white. Saffron is used in like paella. If you like Spanish cooking, they use it in a lot of Eastern cooking, and it's as expensive today. It's more expensive than gold. It's as expensive today as it was 1,000 years ago. It's the same price. And the reason being is how you get, and you would use it for paint. The reason being, I'm using a little light yellow here in case you guys are wondering what I'm doing here like this with this little brush here. I'm just putting some little trees here like this. Okay, pretty, right? Look, all we're doing is just a little yellow. How pretty is this? Maybe just gonna suggest some yellow, you know, something down here like that. I don't know. Okay. How about over here? Do a little bit of yellow. So anyway, back to saffron. So saffron is this, you know, again, it's a spice. You can buy it today. It's very pricey. Some grocery stores keep it locked up. And how you make it? It's from this. It's from the crocus flower. You know, that pretty little bulb, that pretty little purple crocus flower. Sometimes you see it around Easter. And the problem is you have to pick it before noon. No kidding. This, I'm not lying. And it's a bulb. You have to pick it before noon. And so when the flower, you pick the flower, then you take the stamen and you tap it on a piece of paper, and that yellow powder is the saffron. And so this is a very labor-intensive crop, because you have to stagger the crop so that your field blooms before your neighbors, because everybody has to get out and help. It used to be really big in Spain in the old days, and you know, back then, and you could grow it in England. You'll see fields of it in Iraq and Iran even today. But if you're wondering, but that used to be yellow paint too, which was interesting. You know, where paint came from. And again, saffron, next time they want like $50 for a little tiny vial of it, you want to just season rice with it. It's really good, and it's beautiful. It makes this beautiful bright color. And you don't just buy it for the color. It actually tastes pretty good too, if you've ever had real Spanish paella. And anyway, it's worth the price. I mean, you think some guys out there at 6 in the morning picking this stuff, and you know, trying to get it done before noon. I mean, that's a lot, isn't it? I mean, really. So, or the crop's gone. So yes, and Indian yellow was done by the cows, and then ultramarine blue was trying to think of the name. That was called ultramarine blue, which is this color right here. The Virgin Mary was only allowed to be seen in this color. So some sort of rules about that. And if you paint them, you couldn't paint the local countess wearing that color. It was strictly reserved for the Virgin Mary. And that came from Afghanistan. And ultramarine literally meant across the sea, from far away. You know, from far away. And that's where, and I'm trying to think of the blue stone that comes from there. This is why it's nice to read these books. I had a stone on, like lapis lazuli, and it's made out of lapis. And there's some oil paints today. Here's a little magenta here too. There's some oil paints today. We're just going to bring some of this orange down here, magenta with magenta. Kind of cross over, see what we're doing here. Okay, like that. I think we've got most of this in here. You were going, man, this is a quick painting, Ginger, and I'm going, it is, isn't it? Sometimes less is more. When you're doing something like this, don't overkill it. You know, just do something real small, simple. Keep it simple. And so anyway, lapis came from Afghanistan, still comes from there today, and they would use that in the paint. And the history of paint and where they got the colors is so interesting. All right, so I'm going to dry this for a second, and then we're going to go on and do some other stuff with it. I can add a little bit more yellow down in here. Going to get this down to our, just bring some stuff down this way. Let's bring some reflections down this way. All right, that's good. Okay, we sort of got this all going down. A little bright yellow. So any other questions, John? Add a little white to the yellow, brighten this up. Does Cinnamon live far away from Ginger? Oh, this is a great question. Yeah, Cinnamon lives far away from Ginger. She's 45 minutes away. Which I think is far. You know, it depends, right? John's mother lives right down the street. So relatively speaking, no pun intended, my relatives live far away. But guess what? Cinnamon and I, next Sunday, are going to get together at 4 o'clock Houston time, Central Time. We're going to be over at her house filming a special show. We're not going to be painting, but we're going to be answering questions. So I want you guys to plan on joining us next Sunday, and at 4 o'clock Central, and we're going to get a chance to visit with Cinnamon. You're going to be able to ask us all these crazy questions that you really wanted to ask, and then she can veto if you get too personal with what cinema was like growing up or something. She can give me that, you know, daughter look, like, say it and you're dead, you know, kind of thing. But that's okay. Think about some questions you want to ask us, and we're going to answer some questions. John's going to be over there too, with John helping with the broadcast. How fun is that? Yeah? All right, so then we got to dry something fairly quick. Okay, let me just get this a little darker right in here. Somebody said that gallbladders don't like chocolate. Well, what a revolting development that is. Seriously? Seriously? They don't like chocolate? I'm not even supposed to... Oh, this is not a good thing, you know? This is, you know, that can't be right. Surely not true. You know, I never heard from my gallbladder till last week. Whenever this was. Yeah, last week. It never made a peep. Then suddenly it's complaining. I think it's got a lot of nerve. It's hung with me for a long time, too. And listen, it has put up with stuff. It likes Cheetos. You know, I'm telling you, it loved Cheetos just until recently. I mean, it's turned traitor on me. My gosh. And chocolate, you're selling chocolate, too. Oh, that's just bad. People are wondering it. You know, John and I ended up at the hospital last Monday night. Oh, she's not kidding. Monday night, well, poo. So Monday night, John and I went to the hospital last week. We were there till 2, 3 in the morning with this gallbladder thing. At least I didn't have to spend the night. So, all right, so you see where I am. Isn't that pretty? I mean, we've done nothing. And we're just going to add a few more colors and call it a painting. And just really, how cool is this? And you're thinking, you'll never get this done. Open presents, talk and do all this junk. But we're doing it. All right, so here's our little Cad Red medium. I want to drop up a little bit more bright red here. A couple places. Red's one of question, yeah. How do you darken red without making it muddy? Well, it depends. Now, Cad Red Medium's got yellow in it. Oh, you're going, well, that's the different story, isn't it? Now, Naphtha Crimson does not. That's your pure primary red, your color wheel red, okay? You don't see any out today because we're using oranges. But here's your color wheel. Now, it's really easy to come up with that. So here's your color wheel, right? So, generally speaking, on each side of your color wheel, they're happy with their friends on each side. You know, these are like neighbors, good neighbors. So if you add a little like violet or ultramarine blue to red, you can darken it and you won't make it muddy. Okay? You can add a little orange to red and you won't make it muddy. But you add green to red and you'll kill it right now, because green is the opposite. It's the complement. It looks nice next to green, but it's not particularly all that happy when you do it. So I'm just doing a few little brighter colors in here, not too much. Start pulling some red down here like this into our water. Then I got to dry this, and we're just going to say there's our picture. Now let me just put them side by side here and zoom out. And you're thinking, how'd I do? Pretty good, right? Well, we like the clouds better than the new one too. But you know, sometimes when you do something a second time, you have a tendency to do a little better than the first time. The first time you're just sort of getting your bearings. There's this watercolor teacher who I got one of her books on some mistakes that watercolor artists made. Her thing is do a painting about 7 times, 10 times. By the 10th time you won't care anymore, and you'll start doing it, you know? You'll start really doing it. Alright, so here's my little brush. I want to bring out, come up here like this. Just suggest there's this tree, okay, like that. There, just wanted to put that tree back there, kind of, and then if you lost some of this yellow, you can do that. But we were drawing, right? So far so good. We're going to put a little yellow and green in and call it a day. How fun it is to just do a little card like this for somebody, okay? A lot. Here's the thing, green kind of grays, you know, green, grays, red, and so forth. So now what I want to do is I want to make this light green, and I didn't make this up. Let me just show you the picture. See all the green in the stuff, even though there's no green. I don't know where the green's coming from. There's no green up in here that I can see, but the reflection's got all this green in it. Maybe it's some green junk in the pond. I don't know. We're putting it in. So I like the green in it. So how are we going to make this green? What we're going to do is we're going to take yellow, and we're going to take a little bit of green, and we're going to put it in. So here's our picture. See all the green in the stuff, even though there's no green up in here that I can see, but the reflection's got all this green in it. Maybe it's some green junk in the pond. I don't know. We're putting it in. So I like the green in it. So how are we going to make this green? Well, we're going to do and a tiny bit, like 1% of phthalo blue, and make a bright green, like that. And then we'll add a tiny bit of magenta to that. Ooh, too much. And some white maybe. Still, now see, I made a muddy green. See, that got too much red in it. So let's start again. More yellow, a little tiny bit of phthalo. Add it to the muddy color. Okay, so how do we do? I want it a little bit brighter than that, so I'll add a little more phthalo. There we go. So that's basically, you can add brown to green to dull it too. Okay, now we're just going to come up here like this and go across with these little bits of green. Taking a tiny brush like this right on top. We dried everything, so it shouldn't go muddy on us. Like that. I can zoom in a little bit so you can see what we're doing. Okay, so see, and I'm just coming in here like this and dropping a little bit of this on here like that. Using this tiny brush because, and it's interesting, it just went here a little bit, didn't go too far. There really was just a tiny bit of this green over here, but really next to nothing. It was all in the photograph over here on the right, and I thought that was pretty. It added just a little bit more mystery to the color. You can do this fairly quickly. Little tiny brush. Now we want to put in what I call color surprise, but before we do that, I want to put my trees back that I kind of lost here when I was painting all this. So let's mist the paints. There we go. Roll your brush on the side of your plate like that. Roll it. And come back on the tip. Alright, so here's this. We're going to just sort of say that we've got some sort of tree off camera that's coming this way, kind of down like that. Here, how did I have that? And then this kind of coming like this. Maybe in here like that. So this one, let's talk about this tree for a minute. We said it was up here, but we really didn't define it very well. So let's just talk a little bit more about this tree down in here like this. And there was another one here that when I was kind of drawing these in, I just sort of let it go. And I can put it up here like this. And when in doubt, paint it out. This is the thing. If you're not sure, just get rid of it. But we're going to say that here's this tree. Some little bushes here, and we've got those here. Let's make this one a little darker up here like that. Okay, so here, see how we're sort of defining a few things. And I'm going to say that there's some little branches coming down like this. Maybe into here like this. Into the water. And one thing, if you see how this is going this way, then the reflection has to go this way. Okay, and we'll bring this tree up a little bit higher here, a little bit more here like that. Okay, make it, okay. How do you mix colors without it going up this middle point? I don't know. It doesn't for me. Maybe I'd buy a better brush. I don't know. I do it all the time. It just doesn't. You can wipe your brush off. I often mix on the canvas. I'll use, if it's a big painting. This is so small. If it's a big painting, I want to make sure I get some of these branches going all the way off the bottom here like that. If it's a big painting, like 30 by 40 or something like that, then yeah, then I'm mixing. I'm probably using a palette knife. But on something small like this, I'm coming back up here with some dark. We got to put a dark bank up here like this. We kind of forgot that bank. This is sort of a this painting had some different heights to the water like this, some different heights like that. So there's that, and then I'm going to just say that there's some little trees growing back into here like that, kind of this way. It just kind of indicate. This little brush is called a Ruby Satin Silver 000 round 2500S, and that is a nifty little brush. The thing that'll keep these brushes nice, any of these tiny brushes, I don't care who makes them, they're fragile. So what you want to watch out for, and I say this, you've got to watch out for the fact that they don't. Here, let's just have another little tree here like this. There we go, something like that, some little tree here. And that's gonna just put a little, not everything has to reflect, but we'll just put something here. Okay, so if you leave them sitting in water, you'll wreck them. You've got to rinse them and take them out Do take them out of the water. Don't let them sit in the water. In fact, you really shouldn't let anybody sit in the water, but for sure not your tiny little brushes like this, because they'll just bend and then they're gone, and then that's the end of that. So there's this. That's pretty. And then I said I was going to do something called Color Surprise. Let me just rinse this, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So, something like this, you should be able to get the paint off really well, and just kind of pinch it like this, and then go back and rinse it. Wouldn't hurt if you were painting. I'm not doing it, but it probably wouldn't hurt to have a little soapy water somewhere too, so you could just rinse it. Now that's just sitting flat like that after you do it. In the old days, we used to put these in our mouth to get to a point, but we're not recommending that. Old days means when I was 10. I used to like to do that, but adults saw me and were horrified. Alright, so we're back to this little angle brush. Let's make a turquoise color. I'm going to take phthalo blue and a little cad yellow medium and a little white, like that, and we're going to make it. Okay. Alright, we have a question about this week's release. I want to tell you about that too. I'm so excited. Do you see how this, do you know why this looks so good? Is because turquoise is opposite orange on the color wheel, which means it's a complement. So when you do anytime, I promise you, you want people to just be startled by your pictures. Anytime you can throw in, seriously, anytime you can throw in turquoise next to orange. Oh, that's mixing white. No wonder that didn't lighten up enough. Here we go. Alright, should read my own titles, huh? Be good. There's no point putting the tags if you don't read them. See, there's the mixing white. And here we go. Let's just try this again. Phthalo blue, yellow. Let's try titanium. What do we get then? Oh, here we go. Nice turquoise. That's it. That's the color I want. Can you guys see it right there? Right now, I'm going to put a little of this turquoise color into here, near the orange, just a hair. Now, it's important because it wasn't in the original painting, but anytime as an artist you can do that. Put complements, red next to green, purple and yellow and stuff like that. People get real impressed with your color choices, and they're not even sure why they are. Alright? So that's what I'm going to share with you now. I'm going to take a little bit of lighter green, add some more. And I'm talking about this week's release. I'm so excited about this week's release. If you remember, a couple weeks ago we painted that gate. Was it last week we painted the gate? No, it was 2 weeks ago we painted the gate. 2 weeks ago. And so I said I was working on a painting, and then I had the gallbladder attack, and I'm still working on the Wave and Water I won't have that out for the 1st, but we'll have it out this week. I'm still trying to get that filmed, though I'll show you what that is. Here's a little bit of this green here, like that. See, but now, see my turquoise? Isn't that just great? So while that's drying, then I'm going to finish this up. Okay, I'll show you what we're doing for our release for Thursday. And people say, well, what are you talking about, a Thursday release? Well, every week on our website, we release, for our members, in the video lesson library, they get a new painting. I know it's overwhelming, because some paintings are really simple. We do the 1 cookie lessons, and then sometimes we have what we call a box of cookies. And here, we just knocked them all over. Love it. Okay. All right, so here, you guys, and let me zoom back out so you can see it. Here's our release for Thursday. Is this cool or what? Do you love this? Is this absolutely cool or what? And this is in the style of Thomas Kincaid. And that's our step-by-step tutorial. And I think you guys are really going to like that. The only thing you might want to have is a black Sharpie for the gate. Something that maybe you didn't have, and you want to be sure to have some artist tape for this. But this will be wonderful. Now, remember, you could just join us for a week and paint this. Membership 7 days for $9.95 if you just want to join us. But full membership of over 200 lessons, because if you've done the others, okay, and we're talking about what others? Well, we have a whole series of artwork that's in the Thomas Kincaid style. Now, you guys remember this garden, right, with the chairs. Now, doesn't that look like part of the same painting? Doesn't it look like this is just another part of the yard? And what about this one with the gazebo? Now, both this gazebo and these garden chairs are available for download also. They're sold separately as separate lessons. You can just own those. And eventually we'll have this one too. But isn't that just cool? And we have one more too. Let's see, what was the other one? We have a whole series of these sort of Thomas Kincaid style paintings. Yeah, here we go. Again, this might be another spot in the garden where somebody's sitting, right? Garden chair. So these are things that, I know a lot of people like that style. These are all original paintings by me, but they're in the Thomas Kincaid style. I'm going to show you how to paint that. So that's this Thursday's release. I know, thanks for your patience for waiting for that. Great fun to do. And then our Wave and Water, once a month gets a new painting, and that's the Wave and Water. And I'm still in the process of filming and processing that, but we'll have that for our members. At the first, this week, we'll get that up there for you guys. Won't be tomorrow, but we'll get it up. October got away from this with that business with the hospital and everything, but thank you so much for your patience. But that's cool, isn't it? And this is a sort of a tropical forest and Wave and Water, learning how to do waterfalls. Great fun. So anyway, that's what we've got going this week. And let's take the gate size is the gate and the gate and the Wave and Water are both 11 by 14. See that? 11 by 14. The gate. But you could do this. This would be much prettier 16 by 20 or larger. I would recommend doing this as big as you feel like you can, because I think this would be stunning really big. I'm kind of limited in what I can film this time, but John and I are even changing that. Wait till you see what we're doing. I'm just so impressed. Okay, so this has had a chance to dry a little bit. I'm going to use, somebody asked me if zooming back in, somebody asked me if other way. Somebody asked me if I ever used a golden paint. I like golden paint. Golden paint, really, I mean, use Matisse, it comes from Australia, but let's be fair. Golden paint is the one that all the other companies compare themselves to, and there's a good reason. It's a phenomenally good company. And it makes really good acrylic paint. And, I like Liquitex Heavy Body, which is professional acrylic, and I like Matisse very much, but I'm certainly have paints from Golden that I quite like too. And this is like a liquid. You want to shake it up here. This is a liquid white, but it comes in all the colors. I just want a few drops of that because I want this very thin. And I want to put a few white lines like this through my picture using the small brush. Now here's the deal. Keep these level like that, and just going to come across here like that and lift up maybe and come across here. There you go. And each time you do one, keep it level, and maybe just one in the water here like that, just to sort of pushes your reflections back under the water is what you're doing here. Okay, so we're going to come around here with this tree like this, maybe break that up a little bit. See how that put that reflection back under? Just 1, 2, you don't need very much of this. 1, 2, probably could have just dipped my paint in the bottle here, just like that. There we go, just shoot, and we're done here, like this, boom, done. And we're done. And isn't that pretty? I mean, could I go back and put a few more, bits of yellow? Oh yeah, sure, but, could. But sometimes it's good to, I asked this older woman one time, I think I was 19 and she was 27, seemed very ancient to me. She was an art teacher. I asked her, I said, so what's the secret that I need to know about creating paintings? And she said, always ask yourself the question, what can I take away and not ruin the effect? So if you look at this one, do I still have the effect going? If I zoom back out just a hair, when I look at this one, do I need a bit more yellow? I'm thinking I do, but would that ruin the effect? No, but those are the things you ask yourself. What can I leave out and not ruin the effect? Okay, so I'm going to just come back in here with a bit more yellow in a couple of places and just brighten it up, just something like in here like that, because I like that. There was something about this I sort of liked, a bit of yellow back here. Just kind of bring your eye back here like that, see? But basically, I would say I'm very happy with this painting, and I hope you are too. I hope you had fun painting it. And how easy was this to do a very simple little autumn woodland scene? Next, really simple but easy to do, and yet we've got a nice painting. So let me move this out of the way. And I'd say this was a very successful, we did this, just, not counting unwrapping the presents, right in about an hour, which isn't bad for us, right? And again, we want to invite you to come look at our website. Personal art coaching is one of the things that I can't stress enough, because we won't be able to offer it forever, and you want to take advantage of that. And so, the members that have stayed with us from the beginning, have never dropped their subscription, will always have it. If you're some people have to, for reasons of their own, come in and out of our website. They can be for a while and then they have to go. But we want to make sure that if you're still with us, if we ever have to raise our prices, you've got the prices that you signed up with. And we've got some new specials coming up for the holidays that we're going to be announcing soon too. Here's a little yellow. I'll stop, John. I'm sorry. I'm stopping. There. All right, he says he's not seeing that, but I'm stopping because I think this came out. So basically what you kids are telling me is that all these M&Ms are going to John, that he gets all the M&Ms. This seems very unfair to me. I have to give John all the M&Ms? He says I do. I'm just, are you sure? Yeah, apparently. So here's my little stash, my Happy Halloween stash. I was so excited. Now I'm not excited anymore. I'm just sort of sad. No more M&Ms. Well, I got to see the surgeon. If they take that out, then I can have all the M&Ms I want. So there. So nah. Maybe I'll just keep them. Hey, you guys, this was fun. Happy Halloween. Hope everybody had fun. Any more questions before we go? Well, the question was, we did put green in the painting. You guys, look at that. We used green. We put green in here. But if you want to know, could you do the whole thing green instead of orange? Well, it would be a different painting then, wouldn't it? That's all. I mean, you could do this style of painting and make green trees, sure. But it would be a different painting, and then maybe you'd want to do a different sky. That's all. It just depends on, a lot of it would depend on what you were painting. But we put a little green in here. It could be a 4-season series, I guess, and we could change the color of the sky and do all kinds of stuff. If you were doing green, I think I'd make a red sunset. I'd change that. One thing I do want to do, and he's going, yeah, but you said you quit. But I know, don't you ever just stare at something and look at it? I want to break up the shadow a bit right here. On this reflection. See, I just pushed that back a little bit so it wasn't so bright. There we go. Had to do that. But you can say, let me move my M&Ms now. Okay. I don't know, maybe I'll go hide them. Well, I've got grandkids, but they've been out trick-or-treating in their neighborhood, so I don't dare bring any more candy to them. Their mom will kill me. So much for that. But anyway, we think we had fun with this, and I hope you did. So yeah, you could use a little green if you wanted to. And it's just make a nice card for somebody. I think it would make a very nice card. Well, somebody asked the question, how would a blue sky look? Well, you know what? This is the wonderful thing. You know why we're doing these little tiny paintings? And I'm going to just tap the top of this tree out. He knew it. I'm just tapping the top of this tree. I just don't want that going all the way out here like that, right? There, it didn't look better. Sorry. Here's the thing. Do some color swatches. This is basically what we're talking about. Here was the original photograph. Come in. Here was the original photograph, right? Had some stuff going, very busy. It's upside down. Oh. Well, I painted the whole thing upside down. John! Well, I painted the whole thing upside down. I painted it like this. I'm sorry. Okay, well, yes, but here it is this way. Here's some more green trees, but still, they didn't put any down here in the reflections, right? So yeah, what you'd have to do, and this isn't very interesting at all, is it? Mine's prettier. I like my upside down painting. I'm sorry. I like it this way. I'm sorry. I like it better this way, but that's okay. That's how I painted it, and I quite like it. But here's the deal. Just paint it, just do these little ones because these are sketches. These are painting sketches. And then when you get to perfect color, then change it. Then change it. For me though, I think if I was doing all green, I'd do a sunset. But I love the purple. So anyway, this is what inspired me, right? It helps to be dyslexic when you want to do stuff like this. You know, a lot of artists are dyslexic. I certainly am. I love it. That is absolutely great. Well, We should have saved this one for April Fools, but that's okay. How fun is this? All right, thanks, you guys. Any other questions before we go? No. Terrible. I don't. Doesn't go that way. It goes this way. Absolutely, and I don't think the other one went this way either. I'm sorry. I think it looks much better like this. Well, who cares? John said that. John said he wasn't standing on his head when he shot the photo. I don't care. This is what, when I saw that photo, this is what hit me. This is why we get to be artists, because we all get to be a little crazy. We see the world differently than the rest of them people. What can I tell you? That's what we do. Apparently John says, I see it upside down. That's okay. That's how I saw it, and I liked it like that. So there, John. Too bad. John's a professional photographer, so this has got to be just killing him. He was going, oh, good grief. But I wouldn't have painted it at all like that, because I don't like that picture otherwise. I painted it the way I saw it. I'm going to put a little more color right here. Yeah, so you guys, this is fun. I hope you had fun with us. We're always having a good time. It's been great since John has been here in Houston. And I'm excited about our show with Cinnamon next week. She and I talk on the phone every day and discuss things, and we're going to be having a good time. We're excited to see the grandkids, and I'll see everybody Sunday. And of course, I'll be here tomorrow night. And people are saying, "What are you painting tomorrow night, Ginger?" I have no clue. Something great. Probably not something upside down, but we don't know. Could be. Maybe I'll just paint it upside down just to be ordinary, John. At this point, just because I can, So anyway, see you tomorrow night, and at 7:30, and then after me, Cinnamon's going to have a live show tomorrow night, late light show, and then we're going to be here Wednesday at 1 o'clock too for some fun things, and I've got other things in mind to paint, all Central Time. So thanks, you guys. This was fun. I think the question was, John, was this your picture? It wasn't your picture. Yeah, okay. It wasn't John's picture, but, what can we say?